Welcome back to another episode of Explorers of Darkness. Taking place right where we left off last time. Basically, our sun just got reclaimed by CPS, which is a bit unfortunate, but anyway, now that that's done and over with, the whole Manaphy thing, I think for the time being, we're kind of just back to doing, just typical ordinary shit like we were before. And now, well, it's not really much of a clear goal right now. I guess today's just going to be another episode of just doing some miscellaneous missions, really. How many organ berries do we got? Only 2. Yeah, like I said before, I really need to get more proactive with the Oran berries and try to use them before getting murdered. Although, as you saw with the case of those Kingdras last time, we were kind of just getting nuked in a single hit from off-screen, which really sucks. But, in the circumstances where we don't just get one shot, we really gotta actually start using Oran berries. Ooh, Torchic card, there we go. We got an actual exclusive item for Moth, and now we're talking. I can pretty confidently say that Skorupi does not have any exclusive items, and I'm going to assume that in this game, Polybo probably doesn't have any either. Ryotale, I do not want this garbage. Yeah, no, I definitely don't want this garbage. Get out of here. Let's take a look at this Torchic card, though. Boost Spadef. I mean, yeah, okay. Being weak to types like water, yeah, sure. 65 Spadef. Wow, our special defense was quite low. And even when boosted, it's still our lowest stat. We're definitely going to want to carry that around. I will definitely buy some Reviver Seeds. We actually, at this point, we now have a quite easy and consistent way of getting more Reviver Seeds, and that being a lot of these post-game dungeons, when you get to the end, there will be a treasure room with several treasure boxes, and on a lot of these dungeons with treasure rooms, most, if not all, of the treasure boxes are guaranteed to just be Reviver Seeds. So we're not going to really be hurting for them anymore. At this point, we can just go do some grinding to get some, which is nice. What else is nice is I see that Grimo is actually getting close to evolving, but I'm not sure if I want to. This is about the 100th time I've said this, but I don't remember if I've mentioned this before. I should really probably take notes on what I have and have not mentioned in the past, but the thing with Grimo is that he kind of gets worse when you evolve him because he loses stab on Pin Missile, meaning his damage goes down. But in return, you can take advantage of the very useful Dark Pulse. Problem is, Dark Pulse is a TM that's only in Explorers of Time, so fuck us, really. None of these, Ooh, Purugly. That's actually interesting because Purugly is one of the few Pokemon in this game that you can only recruit through evolving, so a mission where the reward might be recruiting a Purugly for free, like, hey, that's pretty good, especially since the Beach Cave mission. I am not very interested in recruiting stuff this time around, though. Well, we have some Brine Cave missions, so I guess let's just do those. At this point, Brine Cave should be nothing special. There's another one. Yeah, let's just... Oh, an escort mission. Never fucking mind, we're not doing that. Bring Fortress to Steelix? Hell nah. What else do we have on the job list? We have this Waterfall Cave mission here. Being able to recruit a Spiritomb like that would be extremely nice. Because Spiritomb is completely broken for level resets. I'll get into that more in the future if we ever get our hands on a Spiritomb, but it's kind of the opposite of what I was talking about last time, where Cradily is fucking horrible for level resets. Spiritomb is broken for level resets. Anyway, well, let's just head on over to Brine Cave. Again, this dungeon is very short, and it's not challenging at this point, but I will never pass up an excuse to go to Brine Cave, because the music that plays here is, of course, very nice. And out of, like, every single fucking time we've come to this dungeon, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned the music being nice. Yeah, I think what else we can do this episode is, again, mostly just going to be grinding more missions, but I think maybe we could take a peek at some of the dojo dungeons as well. Because now that we're in the post-game, there is some actual new stuff going on at the dojo that I think could be worth showing at least a little bit of. Although, most of the dojo dungeons are still not very noteworthy. At the level we're at now, for everybody, we can actually pretty realistically like, clear basically all the dojo dungeons. If you try to tackle them right away, you just won't be able to do them at the beginning of the game, because I believe how the level scale in the dojo is every, like, there are 5 floors and the enemy levels scale up each floor. So they start at like level 5 and then they go to 10, and I think by the end they hit like 35 or 40. And so of course at the beginning of the game, and for pretty much the entire main story almost, you're just gonna die unless you get really lucky and find the stairs really quickly. But now that we're in the post game and pretty much everybody is in the level 40s, I think we'd be okay. Jeez. I've been gassing up Pin Missile a lot on Grey Mountain. It is good, but the lower accuracy definitely... You son of a bitch. I don't think we've gotten this before, but this is a rare message that can appear sometimes. This is like the 3rd or 4th time I've ever gotten this message. I want to say this might only be in the Explorers games, I'm not sure, but when you see this message, the Pokemon you seek isn't here. This happens because the client Pokemon for that mission, during the generation process of the dungeon floor, the client actually failed to spawn entirely, and so that's a failsafe. If it fails too many times to properly spawn the client, it will just give up, and they just won't spawn at all, and the mission will become uncompletable in this run. So yeah, if we want to do that mission, whichever one that was, we have no choice but to just clear the dungeon, and then leave, and just come back, and hope that doesn't happen again. And for what it's worth, it is a quite rare failsafe to see again. I've only ever seen that happen like 3 or 4 times, maybe, throughout my years of playing this game, but it is still incredibly fucking annoying when it does happen, because it just wastes your time, basically. And for the longest time, I had no clue why that happened, and I just assumed that it was some kind of failsafe, but... I've linked and talked about this video before. The video mentioning, like, explaining how the AI of the Mystery Dungeon games functions, and, like, explaining how the dungeon generation processes work. And, yeah, there is a video that explained that that is the case. That it's failsafe. It maybe could also happen in Rescue Team, I don't remember. It's a pain in the fucking ass, no matter what. Gastrodon. I don't remember if we already had Gastrodon, but... Pink Gastrodon is just some pure Kino, so yeah, sure. I suppose on the topic of missions that are not uncompletable, but might as well be uncompletable, is there was some stuff, I guess it can happen in Explorers as well, but especially in Rescue Team, any kind of dungeon where, this is a crappy outlaw spawn, you would have dungeons where, let's say you're doing an escort mission for, actually I've brought this up before, yeah, doing an escort mission with Slackoth or Slacking is the client, and it is basically just impossible, because, you know, the client will just constantly proc Truant over and over, and they don't have IQ, meaning that they will never just stop trying to spam moves even when they're out of PP. I guess something similar that can happen is a mission where you're trying to rescue Shedinja, but it's on a floor that has weather that deals damage, like Sandstorm or something. And because Shedinja has such little health, it will actually, unless you spawn right next to it, it will just die of weather damage before you could ever possibly reach it. Of course, at that point, it's kind of just your own fault for accepting a mission where Shedinja's a client. Tentacle, yeah, sure, why the fuck not? It's especially your own fault for accepting a mission where Shedinja's the client, considering, like, it's not even a Pokemon where, like, if it was the reward of recruiting the client, it wouldn't really even be worth it for Shedinja anyway, considering the fact that it's not hard to get Shedinja. You can recruit Nincada in, like, Quicksand Cave, and he's already at about level 20, meaning you can just immediately evolve him, and of course, when you evolve Nincada, you get Nincada and Ninjask, or you get Ninjask and Shedinja at the same time, I should say. So, it is not exactly... Oh, sheer cold, you fucking asshole, don't even try. But yeah. It's, there's no reason to really go out of your way to recruit Shedinja. Poison Fang. Interesting. I don't know how much stronger that is than, what the fuck's it called? I don't know how much stronger that is than Poison Jab. I also see I can't see the move's base power. Is that... Maybe the base power vision screen, whatever the fuck. Maybe that was only the thing they added in Sky. I don't know. Not that move base powers really matter very much in this game. Anyway, well, those were some piss-easy missions, unsurprisingly. Aside from that one that, you know, failed to generate. Not that the reward was anything great anyway. None of these rewards are really crazy either. A second Brick Break TM, that's pretty good, though. And of course, just some, you know, some points. I might give that Brick Break TM to Polybo. I don't know. Something I want to do eventually with Polybo for sure is I want to evolve her into Poliwrath, who learns Mind Reader, and Mind Reader linked up with Double Slap. Or even, like, Mind Reader in conjunction with Blizzard is obviously, like, fucking insane. Of course. We're not getting a Blizzard TM because we're playing Explorers of Darkness, haha. Fuck us. That is something that made Articuno extremely good, of course, in Rescue Team as like a combat Pokemon, getting Mind Reader and like Blizzard as well as Agility and other stuff. It was absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea how good Articuno is in this game. I've never bothered using Articuno in Explorers, although I can imagine he's probably of similar strength to what he was in Rescue Team, but with how much more cumbersome it is to get him as opposed to how it was in Rescue Team, it's probably not really worth it. We're starting to stockpile a whole lot of gummies in storage. At some point, we need to take a session to just grab all these gummies from storage and start chugging them, because we really need better IQ skills on everybody. But gummy grinding is such a pain in the ass. We're this far in the game, and even Chico only has 1-star IQ. It's so fucking slow getting IQ. See, yeah, a very good strategy to spread IQ is to get either a Pierce Orb or a Pokemon with Pierce Hurler IQ skill, which, of course, in the IQ groups that learn it, is like one of the very final skills. So you'd have to gummy grind already. But you get something with Pierce Hurler, or a Pierce Orb, and then you take the Lock-On specs, which of course are not in Explorers of Darkness, because go fuck yourself. And then you just throw gummies and, like, vitamins and stuff through an entire, like, conga line of teammates to just give the benefits to all 3 of them. That's some very late endgame stuff, though, unfortunately. It's just something we're not going to be able to abuse. Something we're really going to want to get on anybody who can possibly get it is Concentrator. Mentioned before, Concentrator is just an absolutely broken IQ skill, and is absolutely vital for any IQ group that gets it. Especially male Pokemon. Well, none of these missions are good, but we got some more Brine Cave missions, so... hey, might as well just do them while we still have them. I don't know what it is about Brine Cave that just keeps bringing us back there over and over again, but... fuck it, sure. Again, it's a very short and not hard mission, dungeon, whatever the fuck, so might as well just do it. And who knows, maybe we'll get some more good recruits while we're here. Okay, well, none of these Pokemon are really noteworthy at all, to be honest, so I don't actually give a shit, but... fucking Rain Dance, man. It is pretty good, I suppose, that all weather effects, like if you activate weather using a move, or even, I think, an orb, then the effect is just permanent for the rest of the floor. It's really crazy. Maybe that's part of the reason the weather moves aren't TMs anymore, is because for how good they are, they didn't want them to be so easily accessible. But again, then moves like Blizzard and shit are still TMs, so who knows? You even have the insane moves like Silver Wind. That's still a TM in this game. Although, of course, the distribution is quite limited. And, of course, it's only in Explorers of Time as well, because you know the drill at this point. Oh God, where's the damage, man? Oh, I guess I'm the one taking it. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I'm getting my ass kicked. Oh, this Ammonite is a stupid asshole. Spamming Protect like that. I'm so glad that ammo hits through Protect. This thing is going insane on us. Oh my god. I guess at least Aromatherapy can put us back to normal speed, but Jesus, that Ammonite was kind of kicking our ass. I do know Ammonite is another Pokemon who, like, you are required to evolve it to get access to Omastar. Not that Omastar is exactly very special or noteworthy, like, at all. This is a strange room, by the way, with this random strip of water in the middle. I don't know if I've ever seen that. But geez, we gotta get rid of these things quick. No, I don't need a Psychic Gastrodon. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, Omastar is not exactly noteworthy, although maybe you can get, like, Spike Cannon or some shit. Maybe it gets Ancient Power. Who knows? Any kind of move, like Ancient Power, that confers an Omni boost can be good, of course, especially if you can have a Pokemon that also gets, like, Mind Reader or Lock-On. That's what I did in an old save file, is I had Smeargle as my main, with, like, Ominous Wind and Silver Wind and, like, Wide Slash. And he also had Ancient Power, or, no, okay, he had Lock-On, or whichever move, you know, Mind Reader or Lock-On, I don't remember which, because I think they're pretty much the same. And, of course, that combination is able to just absolutely devastate anything in the game, because Smeargle is overpowered as fuck. The real shame that he doesn't get Fast Friend, so he can't be your main for fighting against Kecleon. Level 45 on Chico, and a new move. Is it a good one? Probably the last move she's gonna learn. No. No, it's a shitty one. Unfortunate. Yeah, I think most of our party at this point, other than maybe Grimo, are probably at the point where we're probably not going to be getting very many level up moves anymore, although we already have a lot of the best shit that we'd want to be using anyway, aside from TMs. This dungeon run has been taking quite a bit more time than the previous one. Oh, it's Venonat, isn't he cute? Now he's fucking dead. Never mind, we just miss our attacks. Oh my god, what a miss. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I really wish I could get my hands on a Dark Pulse TM. I may have to conjure black magic to get access to one. And another thing about evolving Grimo to a Drapion potentially is that Drapion... I mean, I think Drapion is pretty fucking cool, but... I don't know, in PMD, I think it's a larger Pokemon, but its sprite is the same size, that makes sense, so it looks... the scale of it is a little odd. I guess Drapion looks fine in PMD. There are way worse looking Pokemon. But you get some weirdness, like, you know, Pokemon here like Moth and Chico. Their sprites are... their proportions are off compared to larger and more intricate Pokemon that have to have the same sprite size. It's like, I think especially an example of this is like, Pikachu looks really fucking weird in this game. Compared to, like, in terms of proportions and scale, it looks quite strange compared to other Pokemon. Oh shit, I hope this Yanmega doesn't like Bug Buzz or something. Or like Bug Bite, even, God forbid, please don't. Okay, it's just gonna waste a turn. Yanmega is so fucking cool, but he looks kind of crappy in PMD. And yeah, well, that was 2 smooth Brine Cave runs in a row, unsurprisingly. And hey, look, in that second run, the Beedrill mission actually successfully spawned. Wow. Got a Gyro Ball TM, that's great. I'm assuming that Gyro Ball, because like normally it has the effect of the slower you are than the target, the more damage it deals. I'm assuming that that is just total dog shit in PMD, because that would mean you have to be at a lower movement speed. And because you're now getting less actions, no matter how much damage it does, it wouldn't matter, because just using any other move twice in a row would probably deal more damage anyway. I suppose if you were insane, you could do, like, I don't fucking know, plays like Steelix and teach it Curse or something, assuming it even learns Curse, and link that to Gyro Ball or something. That could be pretty cool. And I'll admit, Curse is one of my favorite moves in Pokemon. I think it's a very fun buff to use. The problem is, it just doesn't fucking work in PMD. That's not how the game works. Slowing yourself down like that is such a massive detriment that it doesn't matter, because tanky Pokemon in PMD, like, it doesn't work. And it's kind of a shame. It makes it so any Pokemon in IQ Group E is a lot crappier than they have any right to be. Ooh, Sludge Bomb. Do I have a Sludge Bomb TM? I learned recently that Sludge Bomb is actually a ranged move. And it's probably one of the better, like, version-exclusive TMs to Explorers of Darkness. I would be down to use it on Grimo in place of Pin Missile, to be honest. It's probably more consistent is the thing. No, I don't have a TM for that. Yeah, fuck it. Actually, sure. Let's go learn Sludge Bomb. That'll be cool. I have no idea how much PP it has, but I did not realize we had so much money as well at this point. We have 43,000 total. That's pretty awesome. First of all, what we're gonna do, overhaul this moveset a little bit. Let's de-link this. Let's remember, in place of Poison Jab, let's get Poison Fang. It has more PP. Can't see the base power, but I'm assuming it's better. It's pretty much the same move, but with slightly more PP, I think. That, and it can inflict bad poison. Although, honestly, poisoning enemies in this game is not really, like, impressive or a big deal at all. Link these two. Let's go. Buy one of those Sludge Bomb TMs. Yeah, buy that shit. So expensive, but I suppose this is a move where it's actually worth using. Focus Blast is cheaper, and I think it's also a ranged move. Focus Miss more like. I don't know if it's as bad as, like, I don't know if it's as bad as Focus Blast is in mainline with the missing shit constantly. Actually, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna tease this just yet. I think this is going to be a good opportunity to... Here, let's put the money away first, because we obviously don't want to be carrying that. Let's take a quick peek at something online real quick. Bear with me here. Okay. So, did some searching. I'd like to get my hands on Mr. Mime, so we can have a recycle bot, but there's some problems. First of all, it's at a negative 4.5% recruit rate, which sucks. However, because we're level 40 to 49, we have a passive plus 7.5% recruit chance. So that adds up to... I'm not very good at math, so let me just slap this in the calculator here. A 3% chance. That is pretty fucking low. And we don't have any held items like the friend bow or anything to boost that. Not that the friend bow is a very good boost in this game, like Rescue Team. Also, it can spawn at levels 30 to 33, and it only learns Recycle at 32, meaning more likely than not, there's like a 50-50 chance that a Mr. Mime we would recruit would even be at a level to immediately learn Recycle. So, let me quickly take a peek at what other Pokemon actually got Recycle. Because there's not many. It's like Munchlax, as we deduced before, and Mr. Mime, of course, but what else? Well, the Porygons get it, but we're definitely not getting one of those. And I guess Mime Jr. gets it, but I have no idea where the hell he even shows up. Let's see, Happy Outlook. We don't even have that place yet, and Mime Juniors in that dungeon are definitely not at a high enough level to know Recycle, so... Unfortunately, I think we're just gonna have to skip Recycle for now. It is a TM that, of course, only appears in Explorers of Time, because fuck you. Who gets this through TM? Okay, well, a decent handful of Pokemon get it through TM, although I don't think... I'm not sure any of these... Okay, Smoochum gets it through TM. And we do have a Smoochum. So... Alright, I think I know what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna catch you next time on Explorers of Darkness, where we're going to invoke black magic to get what we want. So I will see you then.